Saweetie snapped back at Lil Baby in her new song, and you would never guess what she said. Also, Summer Walker and Nicki Minaj got snubbed by the Grammys, and people are upset. To find out more, stay tuned and watch this video. Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. Saweetie just released her new EP called The Single Life, and she took some shots at Lil Baby. Now, Saweetie did have a very quick fling with Lil Baby last year. She kind of linked up with Lil Baby to get back at her ex Quavo because Quavo cheated on her allegedly. So she tried to get back at him, and she posted this picture of her sitting on this mystery man's lap. And the blogs found out that it was Lil Baby. So the whole situation blew up in her face, and Lil Baby got upset about it. In fact, he tried to deny being with her, and he also took a shot at her in his song Not Finished and basically called her a clown for posting that picture. Now, Saweetie might have been messy for posting that picture. However, she's not the only person who was messy in the situation, because apparently Lil Baby has been running his mouth about her in the industry. And also there was some information leaked to the blogs that he spent $100,000 on her in the Chanel store. And Saweetie confirmed this in one of her songs called Don't Say Nothing. Now, she was spilling some tea about Lil Baby in this song. This is what she said. YN's always speaking on who I'm effing on. He must got excited when I FaceTimed with nothing on. Them same lips that's yapping be the ones that I nutted on. 100K, please. Know how much paper I be touching on? That's light, better check my network. Post a pic in his sweatshirt, I bet it had my ex hurt. That's what I get for kissing on these frogs. He got mad and told my business to the blogs. Ooh wee. I think this line was a dig at Quavo too, because he definitely got mad when he found out that Saweetie was messing with Lil Baby. She also said he was a boss but talking like a groupie. I knew he wasn't ready for this pretty B coochie. Don't make me refund the D. Send him back because he came too quick. That ish wasn't bussin'. I knew I shouldn't have effed him. Something told me not to trust this dude. Now my business in the streets. I should punch this dude. Also in Saweetie's song Memorable, I kind of felt like she was taking another shot at Lil Baby. I don't know, she could have been talking about anybody, but apparently the guy she was talking about was only able to hit twice, and she said if they only hit twice, they're not memorable. Now, I find it interesting that Saweetie addressed the Lil Baby rumors, but she did not talk about the rumor that she allegedly slept with Offset to get back at Quavo. Now, Quavo led a lot of people to believe that Saweetie messed around with Offset behind his back, and he alluded to this in the song Messy. And even though this rumor was never confirmed, it wasn't dispelled either. So I kind of wish Saweetie addressed it, because if it's not true, she has to speak up and defend herself and defend her reputation. But I think Saweetie is cautious about saying too much right now, because Quavo and Offset just lost their family member and their group member Takeoff. So maybe out of respect, she decided not to speak on the situation. But overall, Saweetie said what she needed to say for now. Now, moving on, I want to talk about the Grammy nominations that were announced this week. But before I get into it, I first want to thank Scentbird for sponsoring this video. So, I have a question for you. What are your favorite fragrance notes? Well, I personally love the scents that are warm and sweet. With Scentbird, I'll never have a problem with getting the perfect fragrance. Scentbird is reimagining everything about how people discover, shop for, purchase, and even experience fragrances. With Scentbird, you can build up your very own fragrance collection. Scentbird allows you to choose new designer fragrances each month for just $17. Every month you get to pick out what you want to receive, so there are no surprises. With each fragrance, you'll get a 30-day supply, so you could try out fragrances before committing to a full-size bottle. You can discover new fragrances by taking a simple quiz, and based off of your preferences, answers, and previous purchases, they'll help you find the fragrance that you'll love. Scentbird carries Prada, Gucci, Versace, and niche brands like Skylar, Heretic, and Confessions of a Rebel. Scentbird also has a new look. Just twist the top and press down and spray your perfume. You could also open up the case to see the vial inside. This month I received 3 perfumes, one by Monique Lillier, and this particular perfume has a masculine woodsy scent and hints of floral notes. The next fragrance I received is called Blush by Rebecca Minkoff, and this has a crisp, light scent, and it's bursting with floral goodness. It's perfect for the spring weather. Lastly, I received another fragrance called Unconquered by Catherine Malandrino, and this by far is my favorite scent. It has a warm, cozy scent with coconut and citrus notes, and it's just perfect to wear year-round. If you want your own collection of fragrances, make sure to use my coupon code Empressive2 for 55% off at scentbird.com. It's just a little over $7 for your first month, and it's available in the US and Canada. Please check out the links below, and once again, thank you Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video, let's talk about the Grammys. Congrats to Mary J. Blige because she got nominated in several major categories for her album Good Morning Gorgeous. The fact that Mary is 30 years into her career and she's still relevant, still selling out shows, and still getting honored at this level is impressive. Mary is a solidified legend. Also, congratulations to Lizzo for getting nominated in several categories, and congratulations to Kendrick Lamar because he is the rapper with the most nominations this year. And also, major congrats to the Queen Bee herself, Beyonce, because she leads the pack with 9 nominations, and she now made history for being the most nominated artist in Grammys history. Now, out of all 9 of her nominations, the most important nominations are the Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year categories. These are the big 3 at the Grammys. Whoever wins these pretty much wins the show. Now, Beyonce has won Song of the Year for her song Single Ladies, which was well over 10 years ago, but she has yet to win the Record of the Year and the Album of the Year. So right now, her song Break My Soul is being up for Record of the Year and Song of the Year, and also her album Renaissance is being nominated for Album of the Year. Now, I would actually love for Renaissance to win Album of the Year because the album did grow on me. At first I was kind of 50-50 with it, but it definitely grew on me, and it had everybody dancing and having fun, and it was just perfect for the summer. And I would hope that it would win Album of the Year, but this category is pretty tough. I don't know how she'll be able to compete with some of these acts, especially Adele. So I don't know how Beyonce is going to win in these categories, at least in some of the major categories, but I do believe that she will sweep a lot of the R&B categories because that's really where she thrives. And since we're on the subject of R&B categories, I think it's pretty wild that Summer Walker is once again being snubbed. She wasn't nominated at all, and I know her label submitted her songs to the Grammys, but her album Still Over It didn't receive any nominations. And let's look at the stats here because Summer Walker broke a lot of records with her album. For one, Still Over It was the highest selling R&B album in 2021. It was the highest and biggest debut by a female artist on Apple Music. It streamed incredibly well, and the first week sales outsold not only her R&B peers' first week sales, but a lot of her pop peers' first week sales as well. But even with all of her success with Still Over It, she still has not received her just due from the industry. She's been snubbed by all of these different award shows, from the Billboard Awards to the American Music Awards. She's been snubbed by the VMAs. She's been snubbed by the Grammys, and it's getting ridiculous. This is why the Grammys loses its respect from a lot of people, because a lot of deserving artists get ignored. And I personally don't think the Grammys are a big deal. However, I know that the Grammys mean a lot to the actual music artists because when they win a Grammy, the price goes up for them, literally. So a Grammy win is important to these artists, but unfortunately, they don't win strictly off of their own merit or their own art. A lot of them win because of politics, and the people on the committee vote based on who they like and who they are familiar with. I kind of feel like Summer doesn't play the game of politics well, and unfortunately, this is why she's been getting snubbed left and right. Both of her albums, Still Over It and Over It, were snubbed, despite how well they both performed, and that does speak volumes. Now, Justice Baden from Summer's label LVRN called out the Grammys in a series of tweets. He said this: Summer Walker not getting a Grammy nom is actually treason. Shake my head. I was cool when we got snubbed for Over It, but then Still Over It smashed every record, affected culture, and was a masterclass on songwriting. Grammys not acknowledging Summer Walker really makes me lose my complete faith in the entity as a whole. Time to move on, I fear. No Summer, no Kehlani, no Ari, no SZA. Feels like it's something against a young black woman that doesn't work with their award show. Let's talk about it. Very interesting tweet there. And Justice brings up a great point, especially when he mentioned the other ladies who were snubbed. Once again, it's not about how well an artist sells. It's not even about their art. It's really about politics. And if they're not playing the game of politics, they have less chances of winning. Now, Summer did respond to the Grammy snub, and this is what she said on her IG story. And as for the Grammys, for a second time, the math is literally not mathing. I was gonna post some numbers, but it's okay. At least the streets F with me. Y'all always pack out every show and support every time I drop. So thanks for the love I do receive. Well, I'm glad that Summer can look on the bright side. Even though it's messed up that she got snubbed again, I'm actually glad for the other R&B artists that got a chance to be nominated, like Money Long. Money Long has been in the industry since 2009, and she's been writing for artists behind the scenes for years. So she's finally getting her just due. Mary J. Blige got some big nominations. Also, Lucky Daye got nominated, and I love Lucky Daye's album Candy Drip. So I think a lot of people are very deserving, but it still doesn't sit right with me that Summer is being snubbed. I'm just gonna say that. It just doesn't sit right with me. Also, it doesn't sit right with me that Nicki Minaj was completely snubbed. Nicki actually gave people the heads up of what was going on behind the scenes. She was saying how the Grammys was kind of making it difficult for her because they were intentionally passing her song Super Freaky Girl off as a pop song. Now, Super Freaky Girl does have a pop sound, but Nicki was rapping on it. So it should have been considered in the rap categories, but they purposely snubbed her from those categories, and they also snubbed her from the pop categories as well. This was obviously done intentionally because the Grammys have no interest in giving Nicki a Grammy. And the reason why is because she allegedly is blackballed. And I did talk about this in one of my videos. In fact, I'm gonna do a playback of what I said right here in this video. Watch this. A few years ago, Nicki called out the Grammys on her Queen Radio show, and she insinuated that the Grammys producer Ken Ehrlich had her blackballed because of her Roman Holiday performance. Nicki was initially given the green light by the Grammys to perform. However, the day of her performance, right before she was about to step on stage, they told her to back out. And Nicki was confused by this because she did a bunch of campaigns for the Grammys, she shot commercials, and she was given the okay to perform. But at the very last minute, they asked her to pull out, and they didn't give her a clear reason why. At first, they said it was because of Whitney Houston. Around that time, Whitney did recently pass, and I guess they wanted more time to give her a tribute, so they wanted to cut Nicki's performance. I'm assuming, I don't know. But Nicki decided to perform anyway, and when she did that, she explained that Ken Ehrlich, the Grammy producer, had her blackballed.
After I did everything they asked, they came the day of the show and told me not to perform. And I said, no, I'm gonna perform, of course. And then when the performance came out and it received backlash from the Catholic Church, Ken Ehrlich reached out to my then management and said, can you please tell Nicki to stop speaking about it? And I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how it was an issue for him. Like, it's my brand. I have to explain myself. I'm the one getting backlash. And he said he was mad because I had did an interview and said, well, the producers at the Grammys knew what song I was going to do in advance.
Right.
Which I thought made no sense because obviously nobody's watching the Grammys thinking that the producers don't know what song Nicki Minaj is about to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Right.
I didn't understand why they were mad. And I didn't understand the power that man had to start to completely blackball me for the rest of my career. But that's exactly what happened.
So that's a brief backstory of Nicki's issues with the Grammys. The Grammys have an issue with her, and they don't want to give her a Grammy. So her getting snubbed, unfortunately, is not a surprise to me. I do think they're playing in her face at this point, and honestly, I don't think Nicki should even bother submitting her songs to the Grammys any longer because they want to frustrate her and make her feel small. But her song Super Freaky Girl definitely should have been nominated, considering how well it performed. It went to #1 on the Billboard charts and stayed in the top 10 for several weeks. It's also one of the best-selling singles of the year, so it would have made sense for this song to be nominated, but we all know why it wasn't nominated. It wasn't nominated because the Grammys have a gripe with Nicki Minaj, and I do believe that she is blackballed, unfortunately. Now, there were conversations about newer female rap artists getting nominated over Nicki. For example, Glorilla was nominated for Best Rap Performance for her song FNN. It's not likely that she would win in this category because she's up against some heavy hitters, but I think it's a nice moment for her to have, and I'm actually genuinely happy for Glorilla. Also, Lotto was nominated for her song Big Energy. She was nominated for Best Melodic Rap Performance, and she's being nominated in the New Artist category. And it's a cool moment for her as well. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not mad at anybody who was nominated this year, but it just feels a little shady when the Grammys choose to ignore more deserving artists. And at this point, I feel like they're playing in Nicki's face. They want to make her feel small, but they can't make her feel small when she's still selling out arenas and selling records and topping the charts. She's still leading the pack right now, so they can't make her feel any type of way, and she doesn't need a Grammy for validation, but I think she wants it because she knows deep down in her heart she deserves it, and she would have gotten it a long time ago if she wasn't blackballed. So I think the reason why she's getting snubbed is not because her work isn't good enough. It's because there's a bias against her, and it's unfortunate. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.